joined us downstairs after this 13-2 victory. Coach, congratulations. This one had to feel a little bit more like it at the plate here tonight, didn't it?
Well, I thought our guys had a good plan against the left-hander, a much different left-hander than we faced on Wednesday, which we knew he had scattered command. We had some walks. We had an HBP by Bryson. We were able to get a lot of traffic on early, even though we, weren't able to push a ton of runs across. And we had him up to 72 pitches after the third inning. So anytime you can get a starter's pitch count up that early, then you've done a good job. I think tonight, Malcolm would have to help me out with this, but it's the first time that we have had more freebies and strikeouts in a long time. And we have been harping on that. That's kind of East Carolina baseball, vintage East Carolina baseball, but we've been striking out way too much in the previous games, and thought our guys did a much better job tonight.
Well, bullpen, another good outing. Nick Logish, certainly he created a buzz in the stadium tonight, and that carried over to the latter innings.
Yeah, we didn't pitch good early, and Smitty didn't look like himself. He battled, of course, because that's what Smitty does, and Spivey didn't look like himself either, but he battled. Thought Nate Napholtz came in and did a really good job, and we knew we were going to have to go to different guys tonight, but Logish, I just didn't expect him to go 2 innings that quickly. I don't know what he struck out, 4, 5, 6.
6, all 6. Yeah.
6. And really proud of Nick. It's not been an easy road to hoe. I know I said this about a lot of our guys, but he didn't pitch great last year. He didn't have a great fall. He was very coachable. His dad actually had heart surgery in the fall. I mean, a lot of things went wrong for Nick Logish in the fall, and he stared adversity in the face, as a lot of people do in life, and got better and worked with Coach Dietrich and Coach Knight. And now you get to see that's what we recruited and that's what we envisioned. But just so happy for him, because it hasn't been easy for him, and he did a really good job tonight.
Before the game, you mentioned how there's been so much you've had to manage for this season, that the fact that you hadn't seen fans yet hadn't really been much on your mind. Well, they were here tonight, and you pull out an effort like this. That had to feel great to do this in front of some folks finally.
Yeah, it's starting to feel a little more normal. I think as we keep going, it's going to continue to feel more normal. The thing we've got to guard ourselves against is just keeping our bubble tight, not getting comfortable and letting our guard down, because as we know, COVID can halt your season like that. We've seen what's happened to basketball and how much time they had off. So we need to keep our bubble tight and be ready to go tomorrow.
Coach, we'll be with you tomorrow. Congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you, guys.
That's Coach Cliff Godwin down in the locker room.
Okay, we'll open up the questions for Coach Godwin at this time.
Coach, AMAC has had a real good start of the season. I know you talked about him a lot in the preseason. Just how important has he been? He got the big hit early to kind of get you guys going.
I mean, you watch all the games, right? So you know how he's done. He's a competitor, and the reason he's good is, of course, he's talented, but we've said this till we're blue in the face, but the guy gets more out of practice than any player in the history of East Carolina baseball since I've been the coach. So in a 2.5-hour span, guy works. I mean, we gave the guys, the main guys that are playing a lot, pretty much the day off yesterday. They lifted weights. We had a team meeting, and AMAC's in the cage hitting, because that's just what AMAC does. He just works. So super proud of him. He can play anywhere, and he's done a great job for us.
You mentioned when Bridges, Colmore, Mayhew to do this tonight with those young guys and not use those main three. How kind of timely was that to start this weekend?
Well, we weren't going to them, Ronnie. So, it was a little bit hairy early, as you guys watched, and we weren't going to them. None of those guys were available tonight. I hope a few's available tomorrow. Gavin will be available tomorrow, but we weren't going to go to them. So we were going to have to win with the guys that we had available, and those guys did a good job, especially Nate and Logish.
Coach, 13 runs tonight, bunch of hits, much better approach it looked like at the plate. How much happier are you tonight, the way they performed at the plate overall?
I laugh because we actually didn't have a lot of hits. We hit some balls hard. We had a good approach until the latter innings, and we were able to get some more hits, but you can't control hits. So all the parents and everybody just looking at batting average. Ryder hit a ball hard today as a couple guys did, and it's right at somebody. So we just worry about hitting the ball hard and trying to get guys on base and executing our offensive approach, which I thought we kept the chain together pretty good tonight.
Questions for Seth?
Seth, Coach Godwin talked about earlier this week he wanted to see some different arms in the bullpen step up. You're obviously catching those guys. How do you think they kind of handled the moment tonight?
I thought they did really good, especially Spivey coming in probably earlier than he thought he would, and then Nate coming in, and that inning was really clean. I thought he looked really good, commanding the zone, and then even with Logish, I mean, 6 up, 6 down, 6 strikeouts, competing in the zone, and then even at the end with Gross, I thought they were all really good tonight.
With Logish specifically, when you're a catcher and you get 6 strikeouts in a row like that, what is that kind of like behind the plate? Just, grooved it. Looks like he's throwing a lot of fastballs. Was it just a lot of strikes that they couldn't catch up to, or what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, Logish has just got a good heater. It plays up a lot. Even if the velo says 90-92, it's really tough to hit, and we have to face that in the fall, and teams don't realize that. And I just thought every pitch that he had was a competitive pitch and wasn't worried about what the score was and just getting after hitters.
Seth, you got ahead 2-0 in your home run at bat. It looked like you got a fastball there. Were you hunting the fastball, and was there any thought maybe he throws a changeup on the 2-0 count?
Yeah, well, I kind of saw from first at bat the way it was with runners on, probably more off speed, and then when I got to 2-0, I kind of just flipped and stayed fastball and finally got one and put a good swing on it.
Seth, how would you rate this team's performance tonight overall?
I thought it was really good. We had a good game plan against the starter, even though we didn't have, I wouldn't say as good numbers off of him as it looked like on paper, but I thought we stuck to our approach. And I think he threw like 94 pitches in 5 innings, and he had 70-something in 3 innings. So I thought we stuck to it. We didn't have a lot to show for it, but that was a way better performance than we had the other night for sure.